Greetings, lovely listeners. Thanks for joining me here today on Rise and Thrive Insights, where knowledge motivates and elevates. I'm your one and only host, Matara, and I hope today you're both feeling great and looking great. Ready to laugh a little, smile a little, and learn a little. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to have you all back here with me. For new listeners, welcome. We are happy to have you. This is now episode 3, The Rat Race. If you have not already caught episodes 1 and 2, The Alpha and the Understatement, do yourself a favor and head over after this episode. Just a quick recap. In last week's episode, we did cover the meaning behind why we feel as though we live in a world full of copycats. In addition, also covered a topic in our letter in regards to mental health. And finally, in our Wits on a Whim, we covered all about the Stanley Cups. And I must say that at this very moment, my Stanley Cup is in hand and she's beautiful and she's pink and she's engraved. Needless to say, someone, my Valentine, must have been listening to last week's episode. Come on, I'm sure you all want to see her, right? She's a beauty. Well, maybe not everyone, but if you would like to see my new addition to my mugs/cup collection, you can head on over to the IG or on TikTok and you can definitely get to see her up close and personal. Now over to WWM. A way of life in which people are caught up in a fiercely competitive struggle for wealth or power. They quit the rat race in order to live a simple life, an exhausting, usually competitive routine. Oxford Dictionary. Any exhausting, unremitting, and usually competitive activity or routine, especially a pressured urban working life spent trying to get ahead with little time left for leisure, contemplation, etc. Urban Dictionary. There are 4 elements to the rat race. There's, of course, the rat. Then there's the race, which are followed by the stress and the reward. Let's discuss the rat for a moment. So according to Homesteady, there's actually proven research that has evidence that shows that rats actually laugh when they're tickled, and they have a sense of humor and fun, and they're able to think about thinking. So you can see the connections that we have to a rat in that sense. But just like rats, we're also not able to select the lifestyle or the environment that we're born into, much like they're not able to select, being lab rats. But what does motivate us is our stressors around us, such as providing for our family. But unfortunately, the rats do not have the capability of drafting up master plans to change their circumstances. But lucky for us, we do. Now onto the race. This element all boils down to how we spend our time achieving what we want. Essentially, it's a breakdown of all the components that make up our lifestyle. I like this quote by Nigel Marsh that Alexia Johnson mentioned in her article. Often people work long, hard hours at jobs they hate to earn money to buy things they don't need, to impress people they don't like. Wow, wow, wow. What comes to mind for me is if that's the reward for the rat race, count me out, please. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. This brings us to the stress, which to me seems like it would stem from the feeling of success. We are creatures of what's next. Stress exists even when all of our basic needs are met because not only do we want to please ourselves through materialistic means after all of our needs are met, but we want to show others that we are successful and feel that the way to do that best is to show them what we have and what we've accomplished rather than who we are, which is not the way to go. Last but not least, we have the reward. Does anyone really know what it is? Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone in a higher position than us, making more money with more businesses, more politics, popularity, bigger houses, more expensive car, more everything. So what does this tell us? Exit the rat race as quickly as we got in compared to no one but yourself. Trust me. I know it's easier said than done because I believe that the real underlying reason of why we entered the rat race to begin with is because at each stage in our life, we encounter times where we feel like we're getting left behind. And the rest of the pack is running ahead, and here we are, still at the back. And we may have a sensation of impending doom, whether it's being a young teen and being what we call a late bloomer, wondering when will I hit puberty? When am I going to reach this certain developmental milestone? Or maybe you're in your later teens and you're trying to decide, is college right for you? Or should I just jump into a career? You may be even in your mid 20s to late 20s and you're seeing all your friends and family getting married, moving in together, having kids, buying houses, and finding that perfect career. And you're like, hey, wait a minute. What about me? I'm happy for y'all, but when is it my turn? Or even those parents that are new parents and see what their friends or other people are doing for their kids, and they want to keep up and make sure that their children aren't getting left behind. So they're trying to get their child involved in every little sport or activity or educational development that's out there. Or you're at the age where it's time for retirement and you're looking at your funds and you're seeing all your friends retiring and you're like, when am I ever going to be able to afford retirement? How am I going to have that sustainable lifestyle I want to live on what income I'll be getting? The naked truth is, ladies and gentlemen, that I am no different to this script. Society makes us all these general markers of expectations for us, but we need to narrow in on what's important to us and set our own expectations and knock them down in the timing that's right for us, not man's timing, but God's. Trust and obey. There's truly no other way. I've made so much progress in my life by shifting that mentality, and I am certain that you will too. I too in my 20s had a period of time where I saw others close to me in my age group settling down with what seemed to be the whole package and thought to myself, did I dive too deep into education, just focusing straight through and getting my double masters? Little did I know, my big blessings were around the corner. I was not wrong for diving into education because that was the path that I saw fit for myself. That was my passion. That was what I wanted to do. And even though I may have felt like I got left behind, God knew I wasn't getting left behind. And all the blessings came pouring in. There were struggles and then there were blessings. And that's just how life works. It's a bit of struggle, a bit of blessings, a bit of struggle, a bit of blessings. And for me, I was just wondering, did I dive too deep and forget about my social life? And when the blessings poured in, I was able to answer my own question. While I can't promise the outcome, I urge my listeners to exit the rat race and bet on you because you got this and your timing will be the right time. Now let's trade that tea for some therapy. Today's letter is from a young lady in Florida. How long should I wait? Been with this guy for almost 5 years now. We talk about getting married, but still hasn't happened yet. He keeps telling me that he's not going nowhere and he don't want to lose me. He let me meet his family members and I've gotten pretty close to his mom. At this point, I am starting to feel like I should walk away and quit. If he doesn't make it happen this year, I feel like I should call it quits. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. We go on vacation together and he also helps me take care of my kids. But I'm at the point where I don't know what to do. What should I do? With today's episode being entitled The Rat Race, I believe there could not have been a more perfect week for us to discuss a letter like this. I'm pretty sure that there are many, many women that can relate to this topic. How many of you ladies are waiting on that proposal? On the flip side, how many of you men feel pressured or apprehensive about getting down on bended knee? As a young lady myself, recently out of my 20s, I would like to say that from a woman's perspective, so many of us desire marriage because we see it as a greater form of unity between ourselves and our partner. And in addition to that, we gain a sense of security and relationship worth when we are engaged and when we do feel like our significant other does want to marry us. It's like taking another step in the relationship, an opportunity for there to be growth and new experiences, and so that you can essentially have a sense of ownership. Now, not every woman is going to need that ring or that marriage certificate to feel that, but more often than not, you will find that this is the case. It's not enough for me to just say this. Let's conduct a quick experiment right now, live and direct. I'm going to do a little Google search. You can type in the same thing, and I don't know, it may be different on a different day, but I am going to go ahead and type in, what does marriage mean to a woman and why do women want to get married? So, first off, it says that beyond love, of course, there are several factors that range from the sentimental, companionship, and family building to the legal, practical thinking, tax breaks, increased financial stability, and medical insurance. So, this is what Google has to say about that. But also, Google says that it promotes a sense of security. So, without even having read this or looked it up, Google agrees. Sense of security. And that's just how I feel. On the flip side, it's right for me to do a quick Google search for the men. So let's type in, why are guys afraid to get married? Let's see. So we have that they may have grown up in a broken home, or they may have been there, done that, and don't ever want to do it again. Now let's see what else we have. So why would men hesitate to tie the knot? We have, I believe that men resist marriage more than women primarily because they believe marriage requires a substantial increase in their behavioral commitment. That's an interesting one. And then we also have, if they perceive that women prioritize their independence, personal fulfillment, and career over starting a family and raising children. Wow. So Google has a lot to say about that one. Now, as much as I would love for there to be one perfect answer for a letter like this, there is no one size fits all response. There's no response that's going to perfectly lay out the approach that you should take. However, what I will say is this: before walking away from a relationship that appears to be good, aside from awaiting your proposal, take the time to really dissect why it is that you believe that you have not gotten your proposal as yet. And I say this because I know you're giving yourself until the end of the year, but it's important to know that we don't want to also lose something good just because we may have run out of patience. Now, they always say patience is a virtue. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Give yourself the opportunity to sit with your boyfriend, sit with your partner, and just talk to him. Like, be open, be willing and ready to listen. Just give him his time to talk. Whether he's a talker or he's not a talker, give him his time to talk. When you ask him questions, just allow him the opportunity to express what he's feeling and what he desires. And sometimes, people may talk to us and we think of something on the top of our head and we just want to get it out right away or respond right away and react. Don't react right away. Take a moment to just let whatever sink in, to digest what is being said so that you can sleep on it and think back on the questions that you asked him. If you asked him about the characteristics that he would like to see in his future wife, do you have most or all of those characteristics? If there are any that you think are not in line with who you are, what you stand for, is it something that you're willing to change, or is it something that you stand by? And also financial, that can be another reason. Is this something that's within his budget and within his means? Once you have had the opportunity to get all of your questions out in the open and answered, and you've had time to sit on it, think about it, compare, contrast, that is the time when you make your great ultimatum. Because being together for almost 5 years, You guys are vacationing together. He's helping to take care of the kids. You've met his family and have gotten pretty close to his mom. It seems like all the right cards are being played. So, this is the moment where he has stated that he's not going anywhere and he doesn't want to lose you. So, this is when you would make your ultimatum and let him know how you feel. And if he's not going anywhere and he doesn't want to lose you, then why is there no proposal? Just to circle back to your initial question in this letter, you asked your RTI family, how long should you wait? And the real answer is subjective because each individual has a different threshold and a different breaking point. Me personally, I know that a lot of women, myself included, have a time frame set in their mind of how long they're willing to wait before that question is popped. I know for myself personally, after 2 years, I'm like, okay, so when's the proposal coming? Like, I'm doing everything right, you're doing everything right, we belong together. When am I getting that ring? So, shortly thereafter, the proposal came my way and the rest is history. But you must know for yourself, when is this breaking point? Why now at the 5 year marker though? Is this a goal that you've always set for yourself? Like, I'm going to stick around until 5 years and see what happens? Or is this something that's sitting in the back of your mind because you're hearing, different people talk about the time frame in which they're proposed to? Or is this naturally your body's way of saying, hey, I need to find out what's going on, my life's moving forward, and I gotta find out what direction this is going in? Am I gonna gain that sense of security? Is my man gonna propose to me so I feel like I have that sense of security? I'll close on this. After you've heard all that he has to say, voice your concern and your feelings. Let him know this is bigger than a proposal. This is you and him, and this is what's going to help you to feel secure in what you guys are building and have been building for the past 5 years. Time for wow, wits on a whim. Artificial intelligence, AI. This is pretty much just intelligence of machines and software as opposed to our intelligence. And it's a field of studying computer science that develops the studies of intelligent machines. And that's pretty much what we're referring to as the AI, the set of technologies that are enabling computers to perform a variety of advanced functions. And this is including, but not limited to, the ability to see, understand, and translate spoken and written languages, analyzing data, making recommendations, so much more. I'm sure you've all seen lately, for my tech savvy people on my TikTokers and Instagrammers and Facebookers, that on all these social platforms, they are suggesting AI features to us. It's like, hi, I see you're creating this video right now, or gathering these pictures together, or whatever the case may be. So, why not try using AI? As if to say, hey, AI is definitely going to create something that's much more pleasing to the eye or more appealing than you're currently creating. Isn't that a scary thought? And it's like, okay, let me just click on it for kicks. And I've had them hit or miss. I've had one that was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is 5 times better than what I was going to come up with. And then on the other hand, I've had one that was like, okay, this is nowhere along the lines of what I was trying to create. So I guess I still have some control over the type of content that I'm trying to put together. But it's really is amazing. It really does have its benefits. It also does have its downside. I don't know. I feel like many of you may have heard about what happened with the AI feature with Taylor Swift recently, and how basically an unflattering image was created that was false. It was not her, and it exposed her in a very not so friendly way, inappropriate to say the least. And it had already picked up 47 million views prior to them being able to shut that down. This was all generated by AI. Now, these are just one of the unfortunate things that can happen with AI. And that's why I asked myself, if AI is really the future, how do we protect ourselves from its malfunctions? These are one of the things. Yes, this specific feature was targeting the famous people and the actors and the stars and the singers, but what happens when there's potential for it to target just our everyday citizens? So I believe there are good portions of it, but I do also believe that there could be scary side of it. Up to what you're able to control and what do you deem as real anymore, like what was created authentic. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on Rise and Thrive Insights. I'm Matara, your one and only host, and I do hope that today you've laughed, smiled, learned something new, and are leaving here with a burst of positivity and motivation to elevate your day and week ahead. Be sure to tap into my website at riseandthriveinsights.com. Go to T-Story submissions and submit your story so that you can potentially be the next story that we respond to. In addition, be sure to tap into all of our socials at Rise and Thrive Insights. You guys, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, I do have a self affirmation video out. So if that's your thing and you do want to get started with a good day, you can say that daily with me. I do say those affirmations each morning, and I definitely feel like I'm in a better mood, better headspace, and I'm ready to start my day. And there are just 7 affirmations. The video is 1 minute, and I will be including a new self affirmation video either once a month or once every other month. So just go ahead and say those affirmations and click on the video in the morning on YouTube or straight from riseandthriveinsights.com and say those affirmations with me. We'll be separate but together. Ladies and gentlemen, tap into all the socials. I promise you there's something for everyone and there's something going on different on each page. If you want more video content, you want to tap into TikTok. If pictures are your thing, you'll want to check out Instagram. For YouTube, you'll check out the self affirmation video daily to get motivated. And then, of course, Facebook page if you would like to communicate with your other RTI family members. I know you're all probably wondering when she says comment, where are we commenting? Definitely tap into that Facebook page and we can get conversations started over there. And also, the website is an all-inclusive. You can find episodes, you can find about me, you can find FAQs, everything that you need, tea submissions, and maybe your tea will be next. So there is something for everyone. Be sure to also follow and turn on your notification bell. You guys are great at coming back to listen to these lovely episodes, but you have to be sure to follow and turn on that notification bell so as soon as I post Tuesday morning, you will get the alerts. Thank you, and I will see you all next week. Stay safe.